Hey guys, I am here with Julian Lago. Julian is the main man behind a technology platform. He's not a technology guy, but he is now a technology platform called Benefits. Julian, tell us about you and about Benefits.
Thank you. First of all, thank you for having me. So Benefits, we're 5 years into our incarnation here. We started as a healthcare advocacy company. We saw a need to basically help with the member steerage. Healthcare is confusing for us that are in the business, let alone a consumer, and they're coming in at a time of trouble and so on. So we started as that. Today, I spend more on technology than I do on payroll. So it's crazy. We've evolved into this IT company. But that's a good thing because we build our technology with the conversation we have with the marketplace, with our brokers, our consultant. So things like steerage, engaging, and other things, it's built with that mindset. Makes us unique is, we brand back to the employer. So you have to have engagement. So it's not a third-party app. In our case, it's really something that the employer is telling their employees. We want you to go there. We want you to communicate. We want you to have some, place to house all of your benefits.
So that key word that you said is engagement. The reality of it is, healthcare is the second largest expense of every organization. People are being said that they're not engaged at work. All this stuff. So talk to me about some of the key ways that app. And then what I want to break the misconception on is that. Mira, you're a little viejito, but you use your phone all the time. So talk about the
You go to
age
any
and
audience, and you speak all the time. Ask any audience. Raise your hand if you're not using an iPhone. You don't have a hand raised. 98% of adults walk around with this device called a smartphone in their pocket. The reality is that we use a lot of push notifications. That has a huge open rate, whereas email has 30 to 40%, and if it's not coming from your employer, even a lower number. So old technology, old engagement doesn't work. So let's talk about engagement. A typical person has a early diagnosis, has a condition, has a symptom. Right now, some of the sources out there like Google and others say 38% of the searches are related to healthcare. So they're looking for information. What are they doing? They're going to the same old source, family members, others. If we can drive them at that tip and we can engage, and it's all about making them very visible, letting them know convenience of a single point of contact. They have telemedicine instant. They have access to an advocate who's more than an advocate, it's a subject matter expert. Nurse, clinician, pharmacist, even claim specialist, but somebody that understands and helps them navigate. Once you've got them calling in, our engagement numbers, because the employer is telling them, we're going to communicate to this, we're going to engage. That drives the engagement on the usage side of it.
So what I love about this, and this is very counterintuitive, because at times you get employers that are like, I don't want to be intrusive, I don't want to get in their lives, but it's been, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I would imagine in this type of benefit, it's always found that when they use it, they love it even more. So it's like, make me use it because I'm going to love it eventually.
3 years ago, when we were rolling out some of the technology, HR department's like, whoa, we don't even have cell phone numbers. Well, you go back to the old days, some of the applications still have fax numbers on them. I said, replace that, put a cell number. If you're not collecting the communication piece, how employees are truly engaging today, you're missing the point. And what's happened this last year changed the universe. We have a basically employee force that is virtual. They're working in different environments. You need to maintain communication. You need to create that culture that you have as an employer. You need to communicate. We have the tool that a CEO can send a get back to work message. Hey, it's important, hope you and your family are doing well. Healthcare has been elevated to a whole nother level. Virtual healthcare. We now realize that we can do a lot more with our technology. So that's all the direction we're headed, and we're excited. We're in places where the decision that's being made in the C-suite, how to diverse and how to change and how to lower costs, we're the tip of the sword. How are we communicating it to that employer, the end user? Change that behavior right there.
Awesome. So I'm going to switch gears.
Yep.
Two ending things I like to do. One is if you grew up in a Latino household, I'm sure that insurance wasn't the first conversation about what do you do when you get out. So I'd love to hear what would the today Julian tell the little Julian back then, and what would you tell every boy, every girl that has our nationalities that look at us and say, hey, these guys are in a fish by themselves.
It's funny. People talk about intelligence. I talk to a lot of the population. You and I dominate 2 languages. We have twice the vocabulary. I dominate half of each. Half of each, yeah. I used to say in class, I was illiterate in 2 languages. So, but Fast story, I'll tell this because it's funny. My dad migrated in 1959 from Cuba. I was fortunate, I was born in New Jersey, but I was the first, gringo born in the household, and we spoke Spanish. And to this day, I thank him for that. We knew I was not going into the family business, which was a furniture store. It was a dying in a kind of ethnic area. Things were going rough. Everybody's moving to Miami. Things are happening. I go on a job interview right in college, my junior year, and come home with an offer to enter the insurance business. I explained it to my dad, and he says, "Oh, so you get to sell an IOU, basically, and they're going to pay you to do this?" He said, "Run before they change their mind." So that was his entry. But hard work, it's a great business because you basically have an opportunity to do what we're doing today, man. I was a broker for many, many years. I understood the industry, and then when an opportunity door just had to creep open, I did what most Latinos do. You dive in, and we've been building our company. We're very excited with the growth we have. We have a phenomenal team behind us. We're very diverse. We're employees in 11 different states, and we're doing the things that need to happen. And listen, you look at the average workforce, and it's not, it's a very diverse workforce that you have to, cater to.
Adapt that. Yeah. So last question, because I know it's an important one, especially as you grow your business, as you wake up every day, and every day is harder than the day before. What fuels you? What's that why? What's that thing that drives Julian?
I got to tell you, I was selling insurance for years and years and years. My son, who now is 26 years old, when he was 9 years old, my wife made a phone call. I was driving from my home in West Palm down to Fort Lauderdale, and she told me, "Hey, I need you to turn around and meet me at the emergency room." And I walked in that door. That son, they said, "Oh, are you the dad of the type 1 diabetic?" And when I left home, he wasn't a diabetic, but he had a stomach virus. We didn't know what it was. He was diagnosed that day as a type 1 diabetic. From that moment forward, I realized what we sold and what we did impacted lives. And when I started to take phone calls from members, even in our own organization, it was no longer, "Oh, she's got a servicing issue." She was going through a major issue, and she needed support. So my why, people, need that navigation. We have the solution, we have the checkbook, but so many times we make it difficult for them to jump through the hoops. Our system is way too complicated. My passion is to simplify this, to get it in the hands so we can take care of our families and people can, migrate. And I believe, we're in a position that we can really change this industry and do some exciting things. So that's what wakes me up in the morning.
Man, love it. And again, I think every person that I know that I've jived with in this business for my entire 20-year career has woke up in the morning with a different why. And it's why you have to leave maybe the safe place and get a little bit uncomfortable, because those are the same people that are on the journey.
We're blessed to have an opportunity in this great country to do what we do. Some people don't see it. Not to get into politics by any stretch, but when you have the opportunities that exist in this country where there is no limit and the sky's no limit, I've taken a company that basically we started from scratch, bootstrapping, to today we're a major player in our space. We're comfortable with who we are, and we have friends like you and others, in the space, and that's exciting. This is one of the countries you can do that in.
Awesome. Hey man,
always.
Thank you.
All right,
appreciate
thank you.
it.